Aha! I was just testing you. I know that there's no sound. I literally hit the button. Anyways, all right. Do I have to go back through that? I just said hello to everyone. I just said it very eloquently, and it was really awesome. I'm sure you can hear me now, though, right? Everybody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. I was just talking about how I look like a whale dressed in white right here in front of my DNA molecule behind me. Yeah, it's just... So whenever I put the counter on, and I'm not doing that just to like say, okay, hey, we're going to have a counter. No, I'm doing that because like I get back from work, I get down here, I turn everything on, start the computer up, and I go live with that while I'm setting everything else up. While I'm setting everything else up, it's making a lot of noise, so I hit mute on my microphone, and then whenever I forget to unmute it, yeah, so it's a problem. I'm as dumb as I look. Okay. Yeah. Oh, Krista, that's funny. Okay, so let's get into it. This week was, you were praising the contributions that engineers have made towards society. Well, yeah, I don't know. Not when it comes to the Silver Bridge, but Silver Bridge, man. It was a fun little escape last week on the Ryan Files with the Mothman stuff. Fun episode, and I'm going to get in touch with Heather Mosier about some of that time I have, because I'm going to be doing some stuff in Pennsylvania, a couple gigs. I'm going to be hanging out. My folks just got a new house and whatnot. I'm going to be helping them with some stuff, so I'm going to be around that area, and I'm looking forward to maybe getting into something in that, eastern Ohio, western Pennsylvania area. Since I'm going to be on the road, might as well do it. So, then of course we had Austin Pugh last night on ETA Files, and he's a nice young man doing a fine job coming up in the world of entertainment. Next week on ETA Files, just so you know, we have another gentleman from the UK who's awesome. Lewis Brown. Lewis has been doing this for 3 years and has made the ultimate all 3 years. Something special. He's one of those guys that's going to win it. He's going to win it. And man, another interview. I'm not going to say who yet. We'll start teasing it next week, but one of the big dogs in the ETA world. The interview is in the can, so to speak. And I'm excited about that. And hopefully, this week I'll be able to get an interview done with Mark Anthony out of Australia. We have been in communication. We were supposed to do it last Saturday. Some things came up. We didn't get it done. Hopefully tomorrow we'll get it in the can, like I said. And if not, we'll see what happens moving forward. But anyways, great things going on all across the board. ETA Files is just it's a fun thing, man. It's fun hearing these guys' perspectives. I love it. The Ryan Files, man, I don't know that everyone realizes this, and we're still not breaking through it. We will. Once we break through to the non-Elvis world, I love you guys in the Elvis world, but once we break through to an outside non-Elvis world, it's going to take off, because we're getting all the biggest guests. Like, you don't realize how big these names are, people that we're having on, including next week. Doug Hamp is coming on. This guy's brilliant, and he's fun. It's kind of, how like when you talk to someone who's a teacher, that is a really good teacher, like Robin Williams in Dead Poet Society, like he's that kind of dude. Just dropping knowledge, not making it uncomfortable, but like really connecting dots. And that's what I love. I love when people can not just tell you things, but they connect dots, and they all of a sudden you see the big picture. And so that's what he's doing. And so he'll be on, and we're going to talk about the Seed War, which is why we have this beautiful background tonight. It's all about DNA. So it'll be fun. That'll be a fun conversation. Let's see here. Yeah. I can read lips. Yeah. I got it. I did get a haircut, much needed haircut. Let me tell you about that. I want to actually say something. I want to see if I get any, what do you call it? Flack for what I'm about to say. Jeannie, how you doing? Joe, how you doing, Joe? Joe's going to come on. We're going to talk about the mafia. Fred, do you know Heather? Have you ever met Heather? Heather's awesome, man. And she's got her hands on a lot of stuff. If you guys recall the cryptid episode with Josh Heston, we're going to be doing some stuff down the road. Talk to him this week. He's awesome. But Josh Heston, the Ozark Cryptids episode, which has gotten a ton of views, which is great. He's coming back on, but him and Heather are like cut from the same cloth. So that would be really cool. Yeah. So, oh, Joe, I'm afraid to have Joe on. I'm afraid I'm going to get capped or something. I don't know what the terminology is. Capped. I just said capped. I don't even know if that's what it means. Joe's awesome. Anyways, so I have 2 interviews in the can of 2 huge dudes in their particular realm. Steve Quayle. He's a documentary filmmaker. He really big in the space of, stuff like Genesis 6 and all kinds of stuff that you might consider conspiracy stuff, government conspiracy stuff, all that, which is, giants, and it's amazing the stuff like this guy has covered over the years. He's coming on after Doug Hamp. And like, man, we went on for like a good hour and a half and whatnot. I want to have him back on, but man, it was like it was so funny. I was trying to like narrow down how to put a title on what we talked about, because it was tough, because it was like, I'm not saying rabbit trails in a negative fashion. I'm just saying like one thing led to another, and then we get back, and then one thing will, you know what I mean? So there's like so much information. I almost thought about making it into 2 episodes, but it's like you can't, because there's no real clear defined spot. The information is awesome. It is one of those episodes, though, as I'm editing it now, that you're going to have to go and like hit pause, go back, rewind, or whatever, or listen to twice, or whatever it is. There's a lot of information in there. I mean, a lot of information. And I'm trying to add some visuals and whatnot to help without distracting. But the dude is huge in this universe. His name is, again, Steve Quayle. Check him out. And the fact that he said yes was like awesome. He's a good dude. And he even said you'd come back. We can talk about some stuff, get some stuff maybe narrowed down. And maybe we'll talk on one of these Friday night mic drop things about, hey, where do we want to go? What do we want to hear about? And I love that stuff, by the way. So if you get an episode and you're like, hey, I really wish we could have dove in on this, email me, theryanpeltonfiles@gmail.com. You guys know that, or through the site, you can get that. So, yep, there you go. Yeah, thank you, Rob. Yep. If the Lord wasn't walking by my side, Sunday, May 4th, 11 a.m., at the now Pepsi Legends Theater in Branson, Missouri. I'm doing a gospel show. Anybody out there, please come and join. And next week, I just figured out this program. I need to change what program I'm using, but this program will not allow me to upload just an image file. It has to be a video file, because I was going to show the artwork for it. In fact, let me just see, because I updated it. Maybe there will be something different. I don't think there is, though. Let me see here. We'll see. No, it won't let. It's all got to be video format. Wow. Yeah. So anyways, I can't show you I can make a video of the graphic, but I'm not doing that right now. So thank you, Amy, for the Mish drop. Don't forget to like. It's very important. And I think people are confused too. The likes, and the thumbs up. So as you're looking at this video right now, we're having a conversation probably on the right side of your screen, and you can put comments in there and you can give the thumbs up emoji and all that. But that's not the ones that YouTube looks at and says, hey, okay, that helps the algorithm. No, it's the ones underneath the video. So underneath the video, you'll see a thumbs up. You'll see a thumbs down. Give it a thumbs up there. Just click it. It's a click. And then below it, there's comments. And I know, like, because I'm on every live chat for the episode release. And I know that most people don't understand that we're chatting here and they think that matters. They think that goes to that chat underneath the video. It doesn't. So if you're taking the time to watch it and be involved in the chat, then just drop down afterwards or even during. Below the video, you can chat, leave a comment. Leave a comment. And, that helps so much, so much. It's stupid that these are the hoops you have to jump through, but it is. It is. And if you don't get people to jump through the hoops, it doesn't matter if you had the Lord God Almighty on, it wouldn't get any views. It's just, don't get me started with the algorithm. So anyways, all right. Yeah. So the gospel show, May the 4th be with you. 11 a.m. and with Clint and Justin from the Blues Brothers, and also my good friends Jessica Barker, Sean Barker's wife, Sean Barker Man in Black show, and Kelly Church, wife of Dean Church, awesome dude, but they're both just awesome. It's the best quartet in the world. Come out, check it out. Thank you in advance. Our sales are better than they've ever been. I'm excited to have a big group, and maybe we're going to do something special this year. Maybe. But the bottom line is, come out, get a blessing. Let's praise the Lord together. There you go. Let me see here. All right. So where are we at? What did I want to talk to you guys about? What I wanted to talk to you guys about was, okay, so I talked about Doug Hamp next week, DNA. It's going to be awesome. And he's a teacher. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and just there's some things that I'm sitting here. I'm like, yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that. I know. And then there like something goes boom, and I'm like, wow, I know all this, but I never made that connection. That's powerful whenever that happens. So, yeah, I learned something. And again, Steve Quayle, 50 years of this being in this industry, he is dropping knowledge about a lot of things. We start out with Giza, the Giza Plateau, these structures that are seen beneath the pyramids and whatnot, and we go around the world. So enjoy that. That's awesome. And, if there's part of that you guys liked, want to expand on and whatnot, we will. Just let me know. You guys that are tuning in and whatnot are the ones let's take the boat where you want to go. Now, the week after that, and I'm going to say this, and I in zero way, shape, or form mean anything negative when I'm saying this. It's a problem, though. It's a problem. I had my first guest on who is controversial. The kind of guy that gets kicked off platforms. What his message, what he's saying is not wrong. It's a little bit too true, if you know what I mean. He's the kind of guy that goes there, and I love it. Except, it's an interesting dichotomy, right? You can take a look at it and be like, man, I'm going to bring it. I'm going to bring it. I'm going to say the truth because I'm passionate about this and it matters and people need to hear the truth and it needs to quit being watered down. And that's a great point. Everything in that statement is correct. Except, what are you accomplishing if what you're saying never gets out to anybody because the platform that you are spouting or stating all this stuff is going to immediately shut not only you down, but the person whose channel it is? I think that's a problem. That's a problem. And it is a particularly fascinating subject, which, you know, even friends of mine on this channel, on this chat right now, some may be, I don't know, you're going to be offended. From the way I look at it, knowledge is power. You know, it's bottom line. And this dude is dropping knowledge. His name is Giovanni Sarucci. Italian, you might, yeah, he's Italian. Joe, he's Italian. Oh, Lord Almighty. So anyways, he has, and it's about this group, and the history of it. Just, you know, we're talking history. It's in history books, okay? This group of people within the Catholic Church called the Jesuits. And some of the things that have happened over the centuries with the Jesuits. Now, of course, he wants to talk about modern day stuff and stuff implicating, you know, a number of people, issues in the Vatican and whatnot. And there's a lot of gray area there. And it's really tough to navigate. It's really tough to navigate those waters. Being in my position, I loved the conversation we had, which was like 2 hours. And I don't know that I agree with everything, you know, he's saying either. Just like I didn't agree with everything that a number of people, say on this program. But I think it's interesting to hear different viewpoints. And this guy is, you know, talking about Jesuits. He's also talking about like, hey, you know, get your head out of quit being nerds about Genesis 6, Nephilim and giants, because that's not where it's at. It's right here. And, you know, I love that passion. I don't know that I agree with everything that he said there, but I love the passion of it. And I love just the information and knowing that there's viewpoints out there that point to these different things. But I can tell you this, as is, were I to drop the episode as is, I would be certainly the episode, if not the channel, would be shadow banned. That's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to be heard, not censored. So I got a decision to make about what to do about that direction. I have zero desire to offend people. And listen, the bottom line is people will get offended about anything. You can literally say, hey, you know, I that's a beautiful color of yellow you're wearing. And they'll be like, well, it's not yellow, it's chartreuse or whatever. And I'm offended, you know, or just, you know how sensitive people can be. And we're dealing with subjects where, you know, things matter. You know, you're getting into religion, you're getting into, you know, your soul and topics that, you know, are pretty big. So, and I want this to be a space where you can talk about stuff like that. I don't want it to be a space that shuts things down. And I don't want it to be a space that's afraid to talk about the hard things too, you know? And at least let viewpoints get out there. But it is interesting because I'm going to write him a letter. I'm sure he's probably not watching this. And if he is, great. He has my phone number. He's supposed to text me so we can talk via text versus email. So if you are watching this, Geo, shoot me a text because I want to keep this understanding going. But I want to write him an email and just be like, I wonder if you're like secretly, are you secretly a Jesuit who's trying to shut down people talking about Jesuits? Because that's what you're doing. It's like right out the gate, boom. Okay, you're canceled. This video will not be shown on a number of platforms, not just YouTube, which is pretty strict. I don't know that this would even fly on Rumble. But I think it would be interesting to get it out there. And, these policies, it's like, I can't even tell you, I can't even say, in the video, go over to Rumble if you want to see the whole version of this. Because, YouTube will say then, hey, you're still linking to content that we don't approve of on our platform. So it's just tough. I don't know what to do. As always, with any of that stuff, I think the smartest thing on my part would be to, and again, you could put it on Patreon link it from another source, and people could come over to Patreon and just show it for free. But, Patreon could be like, hey, we don't agree with this either. Because it's button pushing, it's button pushing. And he does have the presentation of a shock jock almost, think of a Howard Stern in his ability to just boom, lay it out there fast. Oh, you can't walk on the computer, Finn. You know the rules. Come here. I love you. Finn and I have been having a little bit of conversation lately about walking across the keyboard and how you can't do that. I'll give her all the space in the world up here, but she can't walk on the keyboard, and she has a real hard time sometimes accepting that. Isn't that right, Finn? Huh? Come here. You're allowed over here. You just can't walk on the keyboard. Okay? For crying out loud. Come here. Come here. So, anyways, yeah, I'm trying to decide what to do. I think anytime in the future stuff like this comes, you can always go to the RyanFiles.com, and you might find extended information versions there. Because like I said, I zero interest in offending anyone. Zero interest in having the channel shut down or harmed because of, one person's opinion about something. But also not really wanting to limit the ability to make people think about things. You can disagree with things. I love the fact that sometimes people say things that I disagree with, and I got to think about why. There's been some challenges over the past 3 episodes of statements made that don't necessarily square well with my paradigm about certain things on a political level. And this goes beyond left and right. And I realized it was the most awesome thing in the world because I had to sit back and do a real thought process of like, why do I just disagree with that because someone's telling me that's what I need to do? Or I'm just being stubborn about it, or what's the rationale for my disagreeing? And is my rationale built on a firm foundation, or is it, flaky? And I love that. It's how you get better. It's the way things used to be. There's a lot of censorship out there. It's no doubt about it. We just don't want to be that. Oh, do you hear that? You hear that thunder, Finn? Do you guys hear that thunder? Can you hear that? And it's crazy. And this episode I shot with Johnny Cerrucci 2 times. It was weird, man. The whole time it stormed twice. The power went out. Twice during one episode. Never happened before. Twice. I don't know. If you guys let me know, send me a message, send me a personal message or email me. Let me know what you think I should do. What the best course of action is. Because there's another guy out there, I'm not going to say his name because I want to try to get him on, who talks about the exact same subject, but he doesn't bring it in a, shock jock sort of manner. He's very eloquent and historically backs up things with historical facts. Even history that has been, attempted to cover up, but it is real history. And he backs everything up that way. And he's not, cussing or anything like that about it. He's like, just, well, here's kind of the facts and maybe look at that. Which is kind of where I tend to want to be. And I thought maybe I could use some of this information as an intro, show a little bit of Johnny, and then, maybe if you wanted to see the rest of it somewhere, I'm sure you could probably find it. Some of the places I'm going to be online. So I'm not sure. We're going to figure it out, but I'd love to get your advice and hear what you have to say about it, because it is a real thing. It's the kind of thing I didn't really know or think, didn't really plan for, I guess, maybe getting into this business of, the Ryan files, and how to navigate the water. So if you have any thoughts or advice, I'd love to hear it. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see here. Interesting. Kathy, my comment is that the podcast is totally awesome. Put the comment below the video. Ugh, I love you. Okay. I'm going to send you an email about something later. Uh-oh. That's from Joe. I'm scared. That could be really good or really bad. Code words for that episode, Jesuit, like they do true crime. Well, yeah, I mean, there's just some interesting things about it. Oh, you're waiting for D&Z. Where is D&Z? Up in Canada? That's awesome. People may be too sensitive nowadays. Yeah. But is that a good thing? Christine, how do you know the show is worthy of a thumbs up before you've even seen it? That's a good point, John. It's what an engineer would say. Because I enjoy all the, thank you, Christine. Yes. If you have a wrench or a blunt object, at your disposal, Christine, feel free to throw it at John. And that's just an ongoing thing. Always. Yes. Finn is awesome. Careful, people are soft today. You're absolutely right. And as you think of a civilization evolving, is soft evolving, or is it devolving? I don't think you can be soft about things that are historically accurate. It's just like, here it is. If your goal is to erase history because you're too soft, maybe I'm not the one with the problem. So yeah, but I get what you're saying. It's a really interesting place to be. It's like, because you're right, Fred. You're absolutely right. People are soft. Anyways, can you have the conversation with my Simba? Oh, on the keyboards. Yeah. Kitty's on keyboards. Yeah, the thunder, lightning everywhere. Well, it's funny. Yeah, I need another Generac generator. What's funny about it is that, obviously there's battery backup on the computer, and I have battery backup on my Starlink is hooked up to a battery backup, one of those units, office units, cyber power battery backup. So, there is that flicker always whenever the power goes out for a second. And then of course the screen behind me goes out, and, the lights, studio lights will go out. Everything gets weird, real quick. So it just, but it didn't I was able to download the entire, 2.5 hour conversation and whatnot. But yeah, anyways, people may be crazy today. People seem to be crazy today. Sometimes scary. I'm right, you're wrong. No time for discussion. Yeah, exactly. It'll be a good email. Okay, Joe, I appreciate that. And tomorrow, I'm seeing him tomorrow. Awesome. Tell Dean I said hello. I need to have him back on ETA files. So, Fred, just wanted to touch base with you. Fred, Amy is going with me too. We're going to go to the Crescent Hotel on Wednesday. And I wanted to do that with you, and we can, if you ever get the chance, we'll go back. But I'm going to go down on Wednesday. I got some gear, equipment. I would not consider this, and I don't consider myself a ghost hunter. More of a historical, the history of it, the story behind it. And I do believe that there are a number of interesting caveats that I want to kind of look into. Some of this stuff, there's temperature changes, there's electromagnetic, electromagnetic field fluctuations and whatnot. So I wouldn't mind checking that out, doing the tour, grabbing some video, and just experiencing it, having the experience and be able to come back and talk to it. And I'll be talking to it with, as I get all this footage and whatnot, I will come back on with Josh Heston. Once again, he's the guy from, I forget the name of his business, his publication, but he does this publication, something of the Ozarks. I can't remember it. Anyways, he was the episode with cryptids and all that stuff, and he'll be interviewing me, and it'll be awesome because he knows a lot about this stuff. And we're going to also talk about some Civil War stuff that happened in another episode. And he even said he would come on to talk down the road in even a third episode about vampires in the Ozarks. Interesting. You should bring some EMF, electromagnetic frequency readers. Well, I've got the best one in the market. Now, it's not allegedly one of the best ones in the market. It's not one specifically that all ghost hunters like, because they get ones that have visual alerts and whatnot, audible alerts when there's a change in the frequency. But I don't know that I want or need that. I just want to be able to scan an area and see. So I don't know. And Fred, if you'd like to give me a call and talk about some of the stuff, we can. Obviously I'll have a voice recorder. Obviously I'll have a thermometer and EMF, a good one too. But like I said, I'm not interested in reaching out, so to speak, but I am interested in collecting data. And through a relationship, Ronnie Craig's wife, actually, Basha Craig, knows the owner. And so I'm able to get some access, I think, that maybe you might not normally get. So very excited about that, and thankful, no doubt about it. So get your hands on a tri-field meter, okay? Are you still contemplating a filer's tour of the Crescent Hotel followed by Paducah show? That would be a great thing that I just don't think is in the books for this year. But I think it could be something that happens in the future. What John's talking about, I reached out to him. I'd love to have a special, like a week-long Ryan Fowler's Come On, where we start in Branson. Maybe we go and do a tour together of the Crescent Hotel. Julie talked about having a contact in Paducah, doing a show in Paducah, maybe taking a short trip from there, maybe going to Memphis, maybe then over to Nashville, and some background stories and whatnot about the Identical. And just along the, like hit a number of sites. It's almost like a land cruise over the course of a week where there'll be some shows, there'll be some cool stories, some histories, and, just hanging out and having some fun as a group and maybe shooting an episode together and all that, seeing what that's all like. So anyways, it's something I'd like to do down the road. I just don't know that now is the right time. And, I just want it to be right. I just want it to be right. And I don't know that that's where it needs to be. But yeah, if you're interested in that too, send a comment or message me, please, through the RyanFiles.com or the Ryan Pelton Files at gmail.com. Always. That's about it. I mean, for tonight. Yeah, vampires. Yeah. Yeah, the truth is out there. No doubt about it. So, Doug Hamp this week, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. We're going to be talking about this stuff in a weird and wild and sort of awesome way. It's kind of cool how it all comes together. And again, give me any thoughts and opinions. We are growing faster and faster and faster. It's just a few weeks ago, someone asked how many viewers or how many subscriptions I had, determining if they would come on or not. And I remember writing 1.44K. And now we're at more than that, whatever. So, it's just fun to see it move, and it's important, and it'll help us get more and more people on. There is also another person who I don't have the date set or anything like that, but his people have told me that they would be happy to come on. Very busy gentleman. Not sure when we'll be able to record, but his name is Daniel Duval. And this dude, maybe next week I'll tell you the story about Daniel Duval. And maybe why I'm right here doing this podcast today. So, anyways, what's for dinner tonight? Not sure. I wanted to have stuffed peppers, and then I might have changed my mind. So we'll see. Anyways, I appreciate you all. Jolie, thank you so much. All right. I'm going to let you guys go, man. Be amazing. This weather has been weird. Look forward to hearing, if anybody emails me, sends me a message, I look forward to that. Thank you so much. And, let's keep it going. I appreciate you all. Fred, maybe a phone call over the weekend. We can just touch base, make sure I got all the gear, all the right stuff. We'll talk about that. And, outside of that, man, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You can go spend some time with my wife and my kitties, eat something, edit some video, and contemplate what I'm going to do about my Joe Giovanni Cerrucci episode. So, and by the way, I appreciate you. And please, always, if you can, always check out the episode on YouTube when they come out and whatnot. Get that view out there and share it. But if you haven't already, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. I'm like up to, I think, Doug Van Dorn episode, which is only like a month or so ago, might be the last one I uploaded. But we're getting close. I want people to watch on YouTube, obviously, before they go to these other platforms. But man, if you're traveling or whatnot, you're on Spotify, you can download the episode, listen to it on the plane, or whatnot. So, and as we get into some of these, more and more of these episodes are an hour-ish, some maybe a little longer. I think this week's is a little over an hour. But good listening time, especially if you're traveling, you're flying, and as summer comes along, go and subscribe to those channels as well. And I don't send out a bunch of stuff annoying you guys. You know that. I have a bunch of podcasts, and maybe I should. Maybe that's what I should be doing. But I'm Blurry Creatures, subscribed with them. I'm subscribed with Timothy Alberino, a number of other people. And I get notifications from them all the time. Maybe I should do that. I don't know. But anyways, but I don't. So yeah. Anyways, appreciate you guys. Anything else? No, that's good. yeah, have a great weekend. Love you guys. Be amazing. Do something nice for someone else this week, as always. And I will see you right here next week on Tuesday with Douglas Hamp on the Ryan Files. You guys rock. Cheers.